The following is a presentation of Muddy River News.
Instant Replay is your local sports bar. With 18 big screen TVs, we have all the sports packages from college games to pro games. We offer daily drink specials, and come check out the Bullpen, our newly renovated beer garden. Instant Replay, 2739 Chestnut in Quincy.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Daily Muddy. I'm Ashley Conrad, and today I have the immense pleasure of sitting down with Mr. Rich Jones. How are you?
I'm fine. Thank you.
Good. Thank you for coming.
Well, thank you for inviting me.
Of course. So, Rich, you are a member of the Sons of the Union Veterans of the Civil War. Did I get that right?
That is right.
I did practice that. I will say that. And you are I guess kind of a subsidiary. So what I just said was, if you are the sons, right, there is a dad somewhere. There's a larger umbrella, and that is what again?
The Grand Army of the Republic.
Okay, and you have something coming up, and I want to get to that in just a second. But as the sons of the Union Veterans of the Civil War, you no doubt bring honor and remembrance to Civil War veterans. Correct. Okay. Thank you for doing that. I think that that is very, very important. And I know there are a lot of Civil War buffs. There are a lot of people who love following up on it. They love the history of it. But it's a little different when you actually take the time to memorialize. So I think that's very cool.
Well, thank you.
Yeah. And you have something coming up. Is it June 24th?
Yes, it is.
Okay. So the idea is to remember the last known buried veteran in each county across the nation.
That is correct.
Okay. That is going to be quite a feat. So in Adams County alone, I'm sure it takes just a ton of research to try and figure out who that is.
It does.
And a lot of course, what we're used to today, all of the digital resources, the online stuff, didn't exist, of course. Right. So we'll get to the last known veteran buried here in Adams County in just a second. But how did you go about starting that kind of the research for it?
Well, it was kind of, I've done genealogy for quite a long time.
Okay.
And in order to become a member of the Sons of the Union Veterans of the Civil War, you have to prove that you are a direct descendant of someone who served in the Civil War.
Oh, wow.
So you have to do your research there, your genealogical research.
Okay.
And so I had already done that. Submitted my application, got accepted into the Sons, and the units are called camps.
Okay.
And I actually belong to two. One is Camp Number 4, which is the home camp, and it's based out of Springfield, Illinois.
Okay.
And I belong to one in Chicago.
Okay.
At which I never make a meeting, except when they have a Zoom meeting. But
yeah, that might be kind of cool, but I can see how that'd be a little more difficult.
It's so long of a drive.
Sure.
So that's how I got into it. So I knew how to do some research, but it was kind of interesting. I have a couple friends. One is a genealogist, a professional genealogist, and one is a Civil War buff. So when I was asked to do this, I called them up, and I called the first one up, who was a Civil War buff. And I said, listen, this is what I've been tasked. I've got to find the last buried soldier, Civil War soldier,
right, in
Adams County. Her response was, are you nuts?
Good luck. Yeah. Yeah.
So then the other one said, oh my.
Yeah.
So it was quite a challenge.
I bet.
We started in the middle of October doing our research.
Okay.
So thankfully, a lot of this research now is online.
Okay.
A lot of the newspapers.
Sure.
Thanks to the Quincy Public Library and the Great River Genealogical Society, who helped pay for having these digitized.
Oh, great. Yeah. Okay.
So I did that off and on. Once you kind of get a bug.
Yeah.
I mean, it just becomes almost an obsession to find out.
Yeah, I can see that. That would be really interesting. So, did you interview people at like the Veterans Home, or how'd you go about?
I went out and talked to the adjutant.
Okay.
At the Veterans Home, and asked him about any records that they might have. Unfortunately, they don't have much.
Oh, bummer.
So I went to the state archives, sent them a letter and got back all the paperwork that the state had for William Prater,
Prater.
When he was at the Veterans Home.
Okay.
So, and then newspaper clippings from the library. And I also want to thank Beth Young, because she actually got the first piece of information.
Okay.
And that got forwarded to me, and that got me pointed in the right path.
Yeah.
So
big piece of the puzzle.
Yeah.
Good. And is Beth here in Quincy?
Yes.
Okay. Excellent. Yes. Okay.
Yeah. She is part of the Historical Society. She belongs to the Civil War Roundtable.
Oh, cool.
So,
and a lot of these I didn't know existed. This is really cool to me.
Yeah. There's quite a number of Civil War organizations.
That's really cool. Okay, so you did mention his name. So the last known Civil War veteran to be buried in Adams County is William Prater.
That's what our research.
That's what research has shown.
Yes.
And I guess if somebody else wants to go do more and find out different, that's an opportunity there. But so William Prater, and this is just the one thing that I know about him, is that he lived to be over 100 years old.
That's correct.
Which is kind of unheard of, and especially so he passed in 1944.
Correct.
Is that correct?
Yes.
So especially for those times, I think that's a long life.
That's a long life. He mentioned in one of the interviews in one of the articles in the newspaper that his mother lived to be 103. So he was 98 at the time. He said, "I see no reason why I shouldn't live to at least 100."
There you go. There you go. Well, and when you have that determination, there's no stopping you. Especially I'm sure as a Civil War veteran, he probably had a very full and long life of a lot of events and no doubt a lot of memories, and so very cool. And so we can go a little bit more into what we know about William, but you're honoring him on June 24th, and he is buried in the Sunset Cemetery, right, which is on the grounds of the Veterans Home.
Correct.
Now, this celebration or honoring and memorial, is it come one, come all? Everybody's invited?
Absolutely.
It's
completely open to the public.
Okay. And what time is that going to start?
10:30 a.m.
10:30 a.m. on June 24th. Mm-hmm. And can you give us just kind of what it'll look like? Will it, be a little bit of information, or how does that work?
I think it's going to be a combination of both. We're going to have the American Legion and their color guard, which will be there first. We'll have a few speakers.
Okay.
Then I'm going to talk a little bit about Mr. Prater.
Okay.
We're also going to hopefully have a gun salute.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
Yeah, which would be really cool.
That would be cool.
That's still up in the air, but that's what we're hoping for. And then we're going to place a small plaque. It's on like a stick.
Sure. Mm-hmm.
It'll be put in the ground.
Okay.
Honoring him, and it'll say "Last Civil War."
Very cool. So people will be able to visit his gravesite even if they can't make it on that day. But it would be very, very, of course, touching to go and show your support for, of course, not just William, but for all the servicemen and women and the descendants of the Civil War veterans. And I think that would just be very, very touching, very surreal. So again, thank you for doing it. Do you have is there any information of this online where people can go and look at something if they want, or is there?
As far as right now, no, there isn't.
Okay. So if you need more information, you can get a hold of Muddy River News, and if we need to, we can get a hold of Rich, and we'll get you all the information you need. But that is going to be at Sunset Cemetery on June 24th, honoring the life of the last known Civil War soldier buried in Adams County, and that is Mr. William Prater. Yes. Is there anything else you want to chat about before we say see you later?
Well, just a real brief idea of Mr. Prater, what he did. He actually served in two companies, both as a private, Company A of the 14th Illinois Cavalry and Company D of the 64th Illinois Infantry. He was at the Battle of Lookout Mountain.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
Sherman's March to the sea, and he was captured by the Confederacy.
Oh boy.
There
Okay.
in Georgia, and he was sent to Andersonville prison and spent 7 months in Andersonville prison.
Oh wow. Okay.
And he made the claim that he was never wounded, never got a scratch, is what he said. So,
Well, I mean,
quite a guy.
Yeah, right. As a what is it, like a prisoner of war and a Civil War veteran who lived to be 100 years old. I mean, that's just
Yeah, it's
crazy.
fascinating.
It is. It really is. And I can imagine how, like you said, it almost becomes an obsession because it is so interesting. And you probably put kind of time warp. I think when you start reading and researching all of that stuff, it's got to be unreal. Yeah. So. Very, very cool. Mr. Rich Jones, thank you so much for chatting with us.
Thank you.
Again, go honor William Prater. It is June 24th, 10:30 a.m. at Sunset Cemetery. And not only that, but to thank Mr. Rich Jones and the rest of the folks who helped compile all this research. I'm sure this wasn't easy, but definitely worthwhile. So.
And he is buried in Division 12, Division 12.
Okay.
Row 21.
Okay,
At
Division
the
12.
Sunset Cemetery.
Okay, because it is a fairly large cemetery.
Yes, it
so,
is.
Okay, Division 12, row, what'd you say?
21.
21. There you go. If you'd like to go see his grave, or if you want to join us on June 24th, that would be awesome. Thank you so much, Mr. Rich Jones. It was very nice to meet you.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you. Coming up, what started as a simple survey online with Mr. Matt Schuckman and Quincy folks deciding what the best sandwich is in Quincy turned into a regular and delicious segment here on Muddy River News. So you'll want to stay tuned because we visit our first stop, and that is Mr. Bill's for their famous tenderloin.
The Liquor Booth is your home for a huge selection of beer, wine, and spirits. The Liquor Booth has 2 locations in Quincy, 3520 Broadway and 1500 North 12th Street. The Liquor Booth, where it's always happy hour.
A great night's sleep starts at Harvey's Furniture. Check out the large selection of complete bedroom sets. And when it comes to mattresses, we have a full selection from Bemco, Spring Air, and Chatham & Wells. Harvey's Furniture, our home, your home.
Are you looking for the perfect venue for your next special event? Check out Utopia Event Center.
Utopia has a large banquet room and an awesome bar area, perfect for anything from birthday parties to formal corporate meetings. It also offers a photo booth, stage for a DJ or a live band, and a fully stocked bar, all for only $300. Check us out at utopiaeventcenter.com or call Barn at 217-430-6559 for more information. Utopia Event Center, 900 North 12th Street in Quincy.
Everybody, welcome to a special edition of the Daily Muddy. I'm Brittany Boll, and I'm here with my muddy buddy, Matt Schuckman. We are here on a special location for a special summer series that we've named the Great Quincy Sandwich Debate.
That's right.
Okay, so now tell me about the Great Quincy Sandwich Debate, because this is your baby.
Okay, well, random thoughts pop in your head from conversations you have. And one night, a couple buddies and I got talking about the best sandwich in town. If you had a chance to go get a sandwich, where are you going to go?
Yeah.
So I threw the question out there on Twitter and on Facebook. Where's the best sandwich in Quincy? A locally owned, not a chain kind of thing.
Yeah.
Not going to McDonald's or Burger King or something like that.
Somewhere local.
Something Quincy.
Iconic.
So threw it out there, and the suggestions started popping in. Next thing I know, it's just taken off and kind of taken a life of its own. So then I threw a poll up there. Mm-hmm. Well, next thing you know, we had, I think it was over 400 responses in like 24 to 48 hours. Yeah.
So needless to say, Quincy likes their sandwiches.
Quincy likes their sandwiches. So what we did is we took all of those, everyone's input. Whether it was a vote on a poll or whether it was somebody with a Facebook or Twitter comment or whatever, we took everything, compiled a list of what the 10 most named or most voted on sandwiches in town were.
Okay.
So here we are.
We're starting off at the stop 1 of this great sandwich debate.
10 weeks we're doing this.
Yep.
10 different sandwiches from locally owned restaurants.
And we started at one of the oldest of those establishments. We're here at Mr. Bill's. And Mr. Bill's, they came in with what kind of sandwich?
Their tenderloin was
Okay.
what everybody said we needed to try.
The tenderloin. Now, that's pretty.
Now, a tenderloin is a very Midwest sandwich.
Yep.
You know, I have a couple buddies that live on both coasts.
Yeah.
And when they saw the list, they were like, a tenderloin? And one of them had never even heard of one or tried a fried tenderloin.
Yeah.
It is a Midwest iconic sandwich.
It is. I think there are people down south that have no idea what.
And you can go to a lot of different places here in Quincy and get a tenderloin.
Yep.
And everyone's a little different. Whether it depends on how much they pound it out, how
Yeah.
thin they pound it out, the breading they use. You can get them grilled if you want to.
Yeah.
But the iconic one's the fried tenderloin.
Of course.
And you know, some of them are as big as a plate.
Yeah.
You know, so some of them use a little bitty bun, and then the tenderloin's about triple the size of the bun. And
whenever I go anywhere, it's one tenderloin, 2 buns, please.
yeah, so
That's the way to go, I think.
I think if you grow up in Quincy, I mean, you know everything about a tenderloin.
Yeah.
You know, it's iconic.
It is. There's a tenderloin trail that I've heard.
Really?
Yeah, I think somewhere, see Quincy, you can find it on there.
Okay.
And it's all around. It's not just Quincy, but like
Yeah.
you said, the Midwest. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, you know, I think it's one of those, you know, I've spent many a night in this place.
Yeah.
And I've had many a tenderloin in this place, so.
I usually come here and get the chicken wings, so I'm looking forward to this tenderloin. And Jeremy's actually bringing it right now.
There we go.
Oh, they look delicious.
They always look delicious. And look at the size of that.
I know, that is awesome. I'll get my fingers out of there.
Now, we
for
talked
ya.
about this earlier. What do you put on a tenderloin?
Okay, I say everything, no onion. I'm not a raw onion person.
I'm simple as
Well,
can be.
Thank you so much.
I'm ketchup pickle.
And I couldn't believe that he said that. I was like, what?
You were shocked by that.
Yeah, you're the simple sandwich person.
Simple sandwich.
I used to be simple sandwich, but
Because here's the thing: you start putting too much stuff on there, you lose the meat.
Okay.
You lose the meat of the sandwich. You want a few little things to accent it, but you don't want too much because then you're not tasting the meat of the
So
sandwich.
your focus is the meat.
Oh, of course. That's what a sandwich is.
I think
Sandwich is the meat.
I'm going to disagree with you. I think the sandwich is
You're wrong, man.
Okay, well, whatever. I think the sandwich is every single little detail. Detail is everything.
If there's no meat, there's no sandwich.
Well, tell that to the vegetarians.
I will.
Well, we're going to take a short break. I'm going to take a bite into this sandwich, and we're going to be back to talk with Jeremy from Mr. Bill's.
Welcome to the Abbey, a Quincy tradition.
With 6 big screens, a new larger kitchen, and now more seating capacity, the Abbey is the place to be before, during, and after the big game. Come enjoy fan favorite appetizers, steaks, burgers, and a variety of daily food and drink specials. Can't join us? Carryout is available too. Now with a convenient drive-up window to better serve you. 1736 Spring in Quincy. Opens at 3 p.m. Tuesday through Sunday.
Come join all your friends at the Abbey, a Quincy tradition.
All right, welcome back. I'm here with Jeremy. Jeremy, thanks for being here. I know that you're filling in for your sister, Jamie. You both work here at Mr. Bill's, and you work for, I'm guessing, your parents who own the place. Their names are Kevin and Debbie Grotens?
Correct.
Okay, so I've heard a lot about Kevin and Debbie, sorry. I heard that they have a nice little spot at the end of the bar, and that everyone will
they're semi-retired.
Really? I heard everyone just like moves as soon as they get here. They know that
they vacate the area.
That's awesome. I want to be that.
Started that way with Mr. Bill when he was
Really?
retired and owning the place. He would have his spot at the end, and that's just where the owner sits.
Okay, I like that. I think that's pretty cool. Before it was Mr. Bill's, I read an article. It was Zim's.
It was Zim's for 30 years.
Okay.
And then we've owned and operated for 30 plus years ourselves now.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's a long time. Speaking of a long time, I posed the question recently, what is the oldest bar in Quincy? And this one actually came up as one of being the top contenders.
I don't know if it's the oldest. So this building dates back to the 1890s.
And they served before Prohibition.
It did, but then during Prohibition, it was a grocery store, and in the teens and then the 20s, and then became a bar again, and sometime after World War II. I'm not sure.
Yeah, it's still. I mean, that's old.
Yeah.
There's a lot of old history in these walls. One of my favorite things about this place is the ceiling, and I know you guys like remodeled the ceiling
but it's mostly
recently.
original. Yeah.
It is so beautiful.
We've had to replace a couple sections, but it's It's the original stuff there.
It's a very cool bar, very cool establishment. I'm like proud to say that this is my spot on Sundays for wings. I always tell everyone wings. I mean, we're here for tenderloins today, but I think
tenderloins on special on Sundays too.
Is
so
it really?
It's a good day for tenderloins.
Well, then now I'm gonna have to probably go with the tenderloin after today. What's your favorite thing on the menu?
It varies, but I mean, we're famous for fried chicken, tenderloins, gizzards, and livers. I mean, you name it. It's local favorites on each of those items for sure. But yeah, the fried chicken's always a go-to.
Yeah, that's what everyone says.
We push carts of that stuff out of here.
Really?
You wouldn't believe how much we sell.
This place gets busy, I know. It is one of the very few places in town, I think, that accepts reservations. Does that still a thing sometimes?
We kind of do,
Yeah.
So we have trivia night.
Yeah.
Where it kind of started doing that because there weren't any tables for our trivia players. So we kind of had big groups come in for trivia and kind of set aside a table for them every once in a while.
Yeah.
They have a big group.
In this post-COVID world, everything's busy, and I think everyone knows that, and they take time. Another great thing about this place is the familiar faces.
Sure.
I've seen Tess here almost every Sunday for I don't know how long.
She works a lot.
She is one of my favorite bartenders. You come in and see Tess, say hey, bartender to bartender, and get a tenderloin.
Sure.
For sure.
Unlimited stock. We've got so many.
Really?
We always got to restock on tenderloins. Yeah.
Is there anything else I should know about?
Coldest mugs in town.
Oh.
With like cold beer.
That is so true. I never think about that. Very few places keep
Have
a cold.
freezer.
Yeah. Oh, that is so and it has Busch Light on tap, which is my favorite lately. So
that's a new. What's old and new? We used to always have Busch in like old Milwaukee. But
yeah.
We're going back, throwing it back a little bit with Busch Light.
Taking it back to the corn. Well, thank you so much. Thanks for my tenderloin. Thanks for taking time out of your day to be here, and thanks for being the first of our sandwiches on our great Quincy sandwich debate.
Hope it was good.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks.
Coming up on the next edition of Muddy River Gems, sponsored by Dot Foods. So actually, Jim was the first time an African American, a slave, had been made into a real human being in fiction, I guess.
Absolutely.
And that also captured your attention.
Absolutely, and Samuel Clemens did that.
Mm-hmm. One of your relatives was a former slave.
All of my ancestors were enslaved. Mm-hmm. I'm a fifth generation Missourian, and my great-great-grandfather was enslaved here, and my husband's great-great-grandfather was enslaved here. And again, that's William Henry Dant.
Okay, that's your husband's great-great-grandfather.
My husband's great-great-grandfather.
Okay,
he was born in 1837. Uh-huh. He didn't die, though, until 1939.
Wow.
And so
that's over 100.
Yes, 104.
Wow. Okay. That's on the next Muddy River Gems, sponsored by Dot Foods.
Welcome back. Here we go. I am ready for this.
Okay, so because of the size of the tenderloin and the way it fits on the bun, how do you eat a tenderloin? Do you cut it? Do you dig in? Do you just bite in?
I'm gonna cut it.
Which way do you go?
I'm gonna cut it, and because I didn't do the 2-bun order, I'm gonna go ahead and give myself half a bun.
Okay.
And just go halvesies on it.
So normally now, because we're in a restaurant, Mr. Bill's, a classy place, we'll use the knife.
Okay.
There are times I'll just tear it.
And just start
I will cut
ripping?
around. Normally I cut the edges off, and then I will dip them in ketchup.
Oh, yep, I like that.
So,
yes, and then you have the sandwich.
So then you just eat the sandwiches, but then you got a little more tenderloin to eat.
I like it.
So yeah.
Or I like putting the little bits on this to the side, maybe, for me.
Or you cut around it and then layer it. Because you could take the pieces you cut off and make it a double-decker if you wanted to.
All right, hold your breath. I know you don't like mustard.
She's about to ruin it by putting mustard on it.
Oh, and I didn't shake the mustard first, but luckily it was my day and all the juice didn't pour out.
Mercy, mercy, mercy.
All right, ketchup. Here you go, sir.
Thank you.
I like how they allow us to put the amount of sauce that we want on the sandwich. Okay, are we sandwich cheersing or what?
I'll let you go first.
Well, I mean,
because we got to be able to talk about it.
Do we
tap
sandwiches
no,
on the
I'm not
cheer?
tapping your sandwich.
Okay, I'm gonna cheers to the
Just eat your
inventor
sandwich.
of sandwiches. It's John Montague Earl
of Sandwich.
Earl of Sandwich.
Yes.
So that's who I'm going to cheers to.
Okay, go ahead. See, that's the fun part of doing these videos is people look awful when they're eating a sandwich. And now you're stuck because he's got video of you now biting into a tenderloin.
I can't talk with my mouth full.
That's why you take a small bite. That's if you watch the behind the scenes
I don't
stuff
do anything small.
If you watch the behind the scenes conversations from the Food Network, they always talk about that. Because if you take too big a bite, then you're just chewing and chewing and chewing.
I'm still chewing.
Like you're chewing. See? So you take a small bite, then you talk about it.
All right, let's see your
And
dainty bite.
then when they go
Show me how it's done.
Well, I don't take a dainty bite. Come on. You should know better.
Yes.
But that's the perfect bite.
That is. Oh my gosh. This is the perfect tenderloin.
Ketchup, pickle, perfect, crispy.
It is
Pounded
the perfect amount of pounding.
Yes, exactly. Nice. It's thin, but not too thin. It's substantial.
I like it.
It's a damn good tenderloin.
It really is.
Mr. Bill's. Can't go wrong.
Nope.
Can never go wrong at Mr. Bill's.
Nope. No.
And just think, there's 9 more weeks of sandwiches from around Quincy.
Thanks for making this baby, Matt.
So we're gonna see it, and we're going all kinds of different ways.
Yeah.
Cheeseburgers.
Deli sandwiches.
Sandwiches, Italian sandwiches, chicken sandwiches. So we're gonna,
hit all
nine more Quincy locales over the next 9 weeks.
If you can put it between 2 slices of bread,
we'll give it a shot, and then at the end, after seeing all the videos, you decide.
Yeah.
Which is your favorite sandwich?
This is actually going to be your debate, where at the end of this 10 weeks, we put up the grand poll, the big poll of the Great Quincy Sandwich Debate, and you tell us.
That's right.
Or you tell Matt.
We're off to a good start.
You tell Matt.
We're off to a good start.
Well, thanks for joining us. Thanks for coming with us on this journey, the tenderloin journey. I still have food in my teeth. So I look forward to more of these with you too.
Do it again next week.
Yeah. See you then.
Muddy River News. Our home, our news.